to start with the chairman of the House Ag Committee, Dave Hall.
Thank you. And one of the things we're looking at, a lot of calls were coming into my committee, being chairman of my committee, is discussing the issue of we're getting a lot of farmers are saying we have a lot of erosion. A lot of our stream beds are full. A lot of and the impact of just the erosion process of the creeks being full, and also just the process of we're dealing with our ditches and our creeks and the runoff issue. And a lot of questions out there they're asking is, you know, can I get a waiver? Where are the Army Corps of Engineers at on this issue? Do I have to go through the process of, you know, the paperwork process to get a permit to clean that information and clean that ditch out? Because we're going to always have that ongoing problem until we get that clean. So those are the issues we're dealing with, and back home, just traveling back and forth, the concerns of, you know, I think it's all hands on deck with trying to get our crops planted. I know our farmers back in our districts are going to make sure that they help each other out and, you know, get into the fields. But I think the concerns we have just in calls that we're going to be contacting on in our side, just to make sure that we reach out to the departments and see what we can do and see if we can speed up some of the process on the erosion side of the ditches in that area.
Thank you, Chairman Hall. And I had the honor of testifying in front of Chairman Hall's committee yesterday, and I was very impressed with the Ohio House Ag Committee. You can be rest assured we have a good mix of agricultural experts, and one of them is my good friend Bob Peterson. Bob.
Thank you, Director, for putting together this informational meeting. It's been very helpful for me. I now realize I have a waterway that I'm in violation of, that a drought is coming, and I've got wet crops. Director Maurer, if you are the key to this weather system, have you thought about extending your stay? I would be glad to put a hotel room for the whole week.
I thought maybe risk management, RMA would put that bill.
But thank you all for being here, and thank you for your interest. I'm here today to speak, I guess, as a typical Midwest farmer, and some of the experiences that we've had. You know, as a farmer in the Midwest, planting corn, soybeans, what I like to do is plant a crop, produce a crop, harvest a crop. It's what my life calling is, what I love to do. And as a farmer in the Midwest, we get an opportunity to do that maybe 50 times in a lifetime. You know, my father is planting his 54th crop. I'm planting my 28th crop. I'm hoping to plant my 28th crop. My brother is planting his 23rd crop. We're part of a family operation. It's what we do. We only get a chance to do this once a year, and some years are more challenging than others, and certainly this ranks as you all know, the most challenging. I'll tell you, coming into this year, I, like all farmers, were excited. You know, when you talk about $6, $7 corn, you know, beans in the teens, you know, those are exciting times. We were geared up, we're excited. We're going to plant this crop, we're going to feed the world. And frankly, we have an obligation. Last year with some crop failures across the country, and the economists can talk to this better than I can, U.S. agriculture literally fed the world. We were the food bank for the rest of the world. And with the tight supplies we're dealing with, we're in that position also. So it's important, beyond just economically, that we plant this crop and have a good crop this year. So there's a lot of important reasons. We were excited about it. It's the most expensive crop that I will ever plant. My land costs went up, my fertilizer costs went up, my seed costs went up, my crop protection costs went up, machinery costs. The mistake I made was not buying John Deere stock a couple of years ago, because my machinery costs have gone up. This is the most expensive crop that we're going to plant. And I've bought all the inputs. All the costs are already paid for, are borrowed. So it's an expensive crop. I was excited to plant. And really the interesting thing is, from Christmas throughout this spring, we haven't had an opportunity to get in the field. It was wet in January. It was wet in February. It was wet in March. It was wet in April, as we know. And it's continued to be wet. For our farm, we had a narrow window last weekend, about 34 hours. On Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, we decided conditions were dry enough. They weren't, but we decided they were, and we went out and started working. And you know, for that 34-hour window until it rained, you know, sleep wasn't a priority. And for the first time in my life, I missed church to sit on a tractor. My father missed church to sit on a tractor. My brother missed church to sit on a tractor, because that's where we felt God wanted us to be. I know the pastor didn't want to see us that day, because it wouldn't have been pleasant at church that morning with sunshine elsewhere. But in that 34-hour window, we planted 1/4 of our corn crop, 1/8 of our soybean crop. My point is, we can get a lot done in a short amount of time on the dry fields. Now, we've knocked off those driest fields, and we'll move to wetter fields. So that time lag, we can accomplish that first surge real quickly across this state, but then it becomes more difficult as we work through. We are, as we've heard, and you'll hear in the future, we are approaching the point where economics will come into play. We really are evaluating on a daily basis now whether we should plant corn, plant soybeans, take preventive planting. And I think it's going to be a variation. I think it's going to be a field-by-field decision, depending on the weather coming forward, on what we do and what farmers across this state do. Perfect example is that we have a good neighbor that we farm in front of his house, and we have tile drainage. We planted a corn crop there. He pulled out every 2 hours on Saturday. He pulled a tractor out of the barn, make a pass around the field, go park the tractor. Pull a tractor around the barn, make a pass around the field, go park the tractor. Every couple hours, just testing to see if it would dry out enough, and it's different between tile drainage. And so many of these decisions are field-by-field decisions, location by location. And I guess my point is, we're excited about planting the crop. We hope to get the opportunity to do it. If you think previous speaker said this, if you think we're praying for sunshine today, if I plant this crop in muddy, wet conditions, which I will, I won't wait till conditions are dry. I'm going to jump the gun a little bit. I've already done that. If you think we're praying for sunshine now, we're really going to be praying for rain in August to keep this crop going. Probably it's more critical we get rain in August than we get sunshine today. Thank you very much.